welcome back to our channel. And so today Shay and I decided that we were going to do something a little different, more of a story time, right?
Story time.
And we're gonna talk about our car accident and like everything that we've experienced through this past year, really.
Yeah.
And so
We'll just start from the beginning.
I hate talking about this because I'm always such a crybaby. We ended up fishtailing, and with the dip from the median separating the two ways of traffic, my car had ended up rolling to the opposite side of traffic.
And I don't know, like a feeling I can't describe is just, I just wanted it to stop so bad.
I just wanted to make sure we were off the road, and that's whenever I had ended up trying to take my seatbelt off because Shay was screaming, so I told her to calm down, like we needed to get out of the car, kind of figure out where we were and what was wrong with us. But then that's whenever the car had ended up hitting us, which I am definitely lucky that the seatbelt, I didn't unlock my seatbelt, and I was wearing a seatbelt in general. Both of us were wearing a seatbelt in general, because that's definitely what saved us ultimately, and the grace of God. I remember a male bystander came and like deer in the headlights look, like he thought like one of us was dead or close to
injured.
it. Yeah, and I assumed the guy helped me get out because I didn't have a roof over my head, so I'm sure I was the easiest to get out. And I just remember being on the floor. I tried getting up, and then I was coughing up blood, and I was just like, okay, like that's definitely not good.
During that time, I remember going to reach for the doorknob and my hand just sliding down. And that's whenever I started panicking because I'm claustrophobic. So I was like, this is different because one, I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know how bad I was. I didn't know if I was dying or not. And then at top of that, I could not get out. It was metal that was holding me inside the car. And again, that's whenever she had yelled at me to calm down because obviously she knew me panicking wouldn't help anything.
And that's, I think, is one of the memories that I remember. Just Shay screaming for me, like that was so. After the fact, I remember coming in and out of consciousness. A few more bystanders had ended up coming and helping me. I just remember them trying to keep me up, sitting up, because they said I was coughing up more blood. That they were like, I'm sure they were freaking out just as much as I was. That they kept asking like, what's your name? Where are you from? Who can we call? And just being like, I don't know. Like it was, I don't even know how to explain how scary it was that I didn't know my name, that I didn't know where I was from or where I was at, that just I couldn't answer any questions. But I also know that my mom will never change her phone number ever again, for the fact that my mom's phone number was the only thing that I could remember.
And it was so dark that if we didn't land on the highway, we don't know when someone would have found us. And actually, when first responders were responding to the call, they said that original crash, and then they thought a semi had hit us right after that. That I guess it was just so close that people thought it had hit us at that point.
Definitely have some guardian angels looking out for us. Only 1 out of the 4 airbags had deployed. My wheel airbag had deployed, my side one did not, and neither of Shay's did. So she sustained worse injuries. My whole left hand was fractured. I had a concussion, a bruised lungs, and bruised ribs. So that's the reason why I was coughing up blood, was because my lungs were so bruised. And
I had a concussion, a skull fracture, and after that was actually the first specialist I saw was for my hearing, because I thought and was told that it was a matter of time that I would get my hearing back, and they ended up telling me that there was nothing that they could do for me, that I'm permanently have hearing loss on this side. I had my blood vessels in my eyes had bursted, so that was all red for like 3 months.
Yeah.
So I looked pretty scary, but I had sunglasses on anyways, because the instant I saw any type of light, I immediately got a headache and was feeling nauseous and dizzy and everything. And then my shoulder, I had a broken clavicle, and then my ligaments were completely torn. So I had that, and then I had the bruised ribs.
They had ended up taking me to the Junction hospital. They had to use Flight for Life for Shay.
Yeah, they I believe they said it took like an hour or two to take me out of the car, because they had to cut it open to get me out. And then from there, they did the Flight for Life to take me to University Hospital so that I could get the care from multiple doctors, because there was so much wrong with me, and get the tests that I needed.
And I just remember always asking, like, where's my sister? Where's my sister? And that's, nobody told me how bad Shay was, or I remember seeing Shay and just being like, just started crying.
I know, and both of us just were crying, but trying not to cry, to know that both of us were so lucky to walk away with our lives.
And I definitely want to thank the bystanders who helped.
And especially if you see an accident, this is more why, because we are so thankful that the bystanders did stop and make sure that we were okay, and make sure to call someone, because again, it was so dark. If we didn't have that and we were on the side of the road somewhere, it would have been till morning till someone found us.
And so again, thank you to everybody who didn't have to stop, but did, to make sure everybody was okay. Not just me and Shay, but the people in the car too. And the first responders, definitely. It's a crazy job. And not just the first responders, but everybody who helped medical wise, the doctors, the nurses. The doctors and nurses, again, at the Junction Hospital, they were super sweet, super awesome. And the night nurses at university, she was super sweet. And the warm blankets, those were super awesome. Like, that's the only thing I remember, like, throughout the whole thing, is getting warm blankets. But and we would definitely want to thank our parents, because
obviously when we came home, we could not move. It like broke me, because I'm like, I can't even move to help her. It's like I can't do anything. So we can't even do anything to help each other. But our parents and even our younger siblings stepped up and helped us, because our bedrooms are on the second floor, so obviously we were not going to be walking up any stairs.
We were definitely one couch bound for like the first 4 or 5 months, and then also Shay had to get her surgery.
Then I did need it was about 4 or 5 months after the initial accident that I was able to get my shoulder, the clavicle bone repaired, and then my ligaments put back together. So again, the donor who was able to give me those, it's such a small thing that people would think, but I wouldn't be able to move my arm now if it wasn't for whoever who had made that choice to become a donor, and they changed my life. So again, that's why we're donors too, because if possible, maybe we can do something and return that favor. We have the second chance. We are so blessed to be able to experience this, and we don't want it to go to waste. And we will not, like, I'm telling you, like, in even a year from now, like, just wait, just follow us, because you'll see.
And that's also a big thing why we're doing this video, is because we both have talked, and we both like hate the fact that it took this crazy experience to realize that what we were doing before wasn't what we wanted to do in life.
That we were settling.
Yeah, and it's not ever good to settle in your life, because then you
can do whatever you put your mind to. And I know that's like, oh, that's so cliche, but it's true. Like, you are your own worst enemy. You'll be so surprised at what you can accomplish.
We just wanted to thank everyone that helped our recovery process and making sure we were okay, or realizing that there's some of the people that didn't care about us, but
yeah,
that's okay. Yeah. This is definitely a different video, but we want to thank you guys for watching it.